Hello, my name is Josephine Laing, and today I'd like to talk about something that's very exciting to me, and that is particle physics. I love quantum physics, that's another name for particle physics, because it's so intriguing. Here we are using the largest machines in the world, probably, to study some of the very smallest things that we can ever hope to find. And that's in matter, in the atom. If we take an atom and separate it down into its tiniest particles, we have the electrons, the protons, and the neutrons. And if what they've done in certain places where they have these large particle separators like Fermilab in Chicago, which I fortunately just recently was able to visit, and also in CERN, Switzerland, they have another gigantic particle separator. And what they do basically, and this is a gross oversimplification, but they take an atom and they send it zooming down this long train using magnets to get it moving very quickly, and then they smash it into a wall. And they see how the little tiny bits of the center of the atom, the neutron, how it breaks up into the neutrino, and that's called the God particle. And what happens is the particles, if the observer, the scientist, the physicist who is observing them, thinks that they're going to be acting like a wave, they will act like a wave. And if the physicist thinks they're going to be acting like a particle, they'll act like a particle. In other words, they'll either leave a little ripple or a little dent. And if the physicist who thinks it's a particle, those little tiny pieces of the neutrino, are going to be a particle, and they set up a camera to watch that particle, and they go ahead and record it, then the little bits of the neutrino will indeed act like particles. If the physicist who sets up a camera thinks it's going to be a wave, then the little bits will act like a wave. And the significance of this is that what our thoughts or what our beliefs are has a definite influence on matter, or on the material world, or at least what we think is the material world. And so this holds a lot of really vast implications, because it gets right down to where are our thoughts? Where is our head at? And so paying attention to what we're thinking is a really important thing. Now, the atom, if you were to take the atom and spread it out into the size of, say, a mountain and a valley, well, the neutron, the center of the atom, the neutron and the protons, which are positively charged, would be about the size of, say, an orange. And then zooming around would be the electrons, some maybe 10 or 13 of them, depending on the atom, however many electrons there are. And those are negatively charged, and they're attracted to the proton. It's in the center of the neutron of the atom. And they're zooming around in this big valley and along this mountain range. And that's all the particles there are. That's it. There's the one neutron, the protons, and the electrons zooming around. So there's this tremendous amount of clear space in every atom. Every bit of matter that we have is filled with nothing but clear space. In fact, it's something like 99.9999999% clear empty space. So that's a lot of nothingness. In fact, it's almost as much space in an atom as there is in the universe of stars overhead. So when we realize that our matter is affected by our thoughts, and we realize how much our matter is also full of empty space, this is how, to me, it seems to, for working as a psychic, how I feel that I can go ahead and perceive what is going on in somebody else's mind, or in their body, or in another place or space, by just riding on that clear space that's a part of every atom inside of me, and is a part of all the atoms of the air between you and me, and it's a part of all the atoms that are in you. And so using that clear empty space to kind of feel the difference between what that space feels like in you, as opposed to what that space feels like in me, which I'm very familiar with. Now, there's one other aspect to our psychic ability on this quantum level, and that is that there is this phenomenon known as time dilation. And when we are in outer space, and they found this out by clocks that are on the space shuttle, the time slows quite a bit, and that's known as time dilation. And when we are looking at the level of the atom, of the quantum mechanics of an atom, the neutrons and the protons and the neutrinos, which are the smallest particles, and the muons, the smartest particles of the neutron, then we wind up with time dilation that has gone so far as to be something like 0.0000 times 42 zeros. I mean, that's really, really slowing down. So much so that all of time, throughout all history of all creation is slowed down to just a few seconds worth of time. And if time is distorted to that degree at the level of the atom, then to me that says that all time is accessible from within all matter. And that just thrills me no end, because it explains more so the dynamic of how I'm able to operate as a psychic. Because if all time is accessible from the one time, then we can see how things like deja vus can occur, or communicating with spirits who are on the other side, or knowing what is going to be ahead of us in the future or behind us in the past, reaching into that vast place of all-knowingness of all that is all the time. And so I just wanted to share some of those thoughts with you today about quantum physics and psychic ability and our thoughts. So thank you very much. This has been Josephine Laing, and please visit my website and check out my radio show. It's called Step into Magic. Thank you very much. Bye now.